Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. This is a very important video that I'm bringing you. I have moments where my inner alarm bell goes off, and this is one of those moments. I found out about the nuclear drill that's happening in South Korea on August 23rd. Now then, set that aside. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, and you need to know about it too. I want to begin bringing content to you that are what I would call red flags and tripwires. I don't know what else to call them except something like that. You know, that inner part of us that goes, there's something ain't right about that. I can't put my finger on it. I can't explain it, but I'm going to just file it away and go, all right, well, I'll ponder that, pray about it, go buy groceries, whatever you have to do, whatever you feel led to do. I'm going to try to begin bringing you information so that you too can respond to whatever might be setting you off. And as I bring you this information, if there's something inside of you that goes, yeah, man, that's something, there's something not right about that, then respond to it. If it doesn't resonate with you, just disregard it. That's fine too. But I do believe that women have that intuition. And so far on YouTube, I haven't been able to find a woman that brings this to the table. And I feel very led to do that. And maybe they're out there and I just haven't found them yet. So I get that. That's legit. But I'm just saying, today, when Canadian Prepper, and I would encourage you to go listen to his video today. This is August 5th, 2023. So it's his video that I think he put out on August 4th, 2023. What he is warning about, what he is reporting on, are the 5 theaters of war that are opening up across the globe. But besides that, I mean, that's important. But when he started explaining what's happening in South Korea on August 23rd, I was like, all right, mark August 23rd on my calendar because something might happen that day. Now, I have gotten very weary, of, and I'm just shooting straight with you, being honest, of all of these dates. Like, oh, you know, I can't talk about all of them or YouTube won't like it. But all of these dates that have happened over the last 3 years of beware of this date, be careful of this date, brace for this date, brace for September, brace for blah, 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 blah. And I understand that the big one might be coming and we always need to be prepared. But what I've learned to do is filter those dates pretty hard and be very practical about them. And I kind of put them in categories. Either a category to pray about this date, a category not to leave town or leave my house on that date, or a like go get supplies and stock up before that date happens. That's kind of how I put these things in categories. Now then, let me explain to you, and like I say, go listen to Canadian Prepper because he does the deep research. I'm just bringing you my intuition. That's all I'm doing. If that's of value, great. But I will say, when he said this, I was like, okay, so here is what's happening on August 23rd in South Korea. They are having, this is the headline, South Korea sets nationwide civil defense drill citing North's provocations. South Korea sets nationwide civil defense drill citing North's provocations. All right, so whatever's going down over there, South Korea's like, we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready. All right, that's cool with me. All right, but then as as he kept speaking and I was taking notes, I was like, are you serious? That's huge. That is a huge undertaking. 51 million people are going to get alerts on their phone on that day that tell them what underground bunker to go to, what underground nuclear shelter to go to that's closest to them. Guess how many shelters they have? 17,000. Out of 17,000 shelter? Like, well, they have been getting ready. Or were ready. Who knows? I live in a little bitty nowhere town. All right. Where do I go? I have an idea. I know our bank has a basement. No, I don't mean to make light of this at all. So what I'm saying, let's get back to the point here. This drill is going to last for 20 minutes, and everyone will know what shelter is nearest to them. Now, I can imagine that people in South Korea, I've never been there, but I imagine people in South Korea, because of the vicinity they live in, next to North Korea, they have had wars on their homeland. I imagine those people have a national kind of DNA that allows them, that they will be able to take this in stride and do a remarkable job. I imagine that. I'm very curious to find out. Well, okay. So I'm taking note of this civil defense drill. Also, one of their defense ministers was quoted that this is a danger that goes beyond the Cold War. The threat that they are in now goes beyond the Cold War. Now, does that set off a red flag for you? Does that trip a tripwire for you that makes you want to respond? I guess I would describe red flags as just taking mental note. Tripwires are when I actually do something in response to the red flag. So here are a few more points to just file away. There is an American nuclear submarine in the port of South Korea. Not only is it fueled by nuclear energy, it has nuclear weapons on it. And on August 23rd, on August 23rd, the United States and South Korea are having a drill, a military drill. So that is also happening on that day. Another thing, the country that is at war in Europe, the one that was invaded, has warned that on August 23rd, they are going to send a swarm of drones to their enemy's capital. That is a nuclear power. And they're going to attack them on August 23rd. Now, on that little bit of information, I'm like, my radar on that is like, I'm not feeling that. I mean, why would you even warn them? That sounds like a bunch of hot air to me. But maybe it's true. That's way down on the list. Like, whatever. I kind of feel that kind of about that country right now, because there seems to be a lot of blustering and sword rattling is what they call it. So that's kind of like, okay, whatever. But what's happening off of the Korean peninsula is my red flag. And I will also say, as August 23rd draws near, obviously I am going to be in prayer about it, but I'm also going to begin to kind of check my preps, make sure, do a little inventory. Where are we at? What do we have? What is everybody's schedule on that day? What's everybody's schedule on August 22nd? What is your schedule on the 24th? Just make sure we all know where we're going to be, and do we have what we need to stay in touch with each other? Those are the kinds of things that I would describe as my tripwires. When an ex-president, and this is kind of going a little bit off the subject here, but when an ex-president, and you know who I'm talking about, gets indicted or pleads not guilty or guilty or whatever is going on with that, I kind of take note of that. I don't see that that's going to be a huge impact on my life, but I do kind of note it. And that's kind of going on in the background also. If you understand where the 5 hot spots are in the world as far as conflict, then you're going to be able to adjust your thinking and adjust your strategies in order to weather these storms. Now, some people And you have every right to do this. Some people are like, "Girl, you just are too worried. You're panicking. You're just God will take care of you." I know without a doubt God will take care of me. But I also know the unthinkable can happen to you. And I know that because I held my daughter in my arms while she died, and she was 11. So when something like that happens to you, when you go through your entire life thinking that you're going to outlive your children, and then you don't, it alters your perspective about life, and you begin thinking the worst can happen to you. And sometimes I feel vulnerable, but a lot of times I just feel like God's got this. Most of the time I feel that way. If I were perfect, I'd feel that way all the time. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I hang on to my worry. I'll confess that to you right now. But I'm saying if we can remind each other, God's got this no matter what. And He is more able than me to to take care of all of this. I get that. In the meantime, He gave me a brain so I can respond accordingly. If you want to not do anything and trust God and pray, that's great. When it's time for you to be hungry and you open your refrigerator and there ain't no food there, then good luck with that. I don't know what. Maybe the Lord will miraculously put food there, and He can do that. He can. So we shall see. Time will tell. But I'm going to depend on the Lord and follow His guiding me to prepare logically, spiritually, physically, all of these things. So I guess this is the first report of red flags and tripwires. If something else happens, I'll hop back on here and give you another report. In the meantime, do what you need to do to respond accordingly and get ready for what's happening, because the world is not the same as it used to be. And you can sit in denial all day, every day. Good luck with that. You can pine away and say, "I wish it were like it was before that thing happened in 2020. I wish, why aren't there as many people at church? Blah, 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 blah." Okay, y'all, it's not the same. The world is different. The quicker you adjust to it, the quicker you'll be able to be effective and survive it. Regardless of what happens, no one can take away my belief in Jesus. It's rock solid inside of me. Nothing's going to shake that. Come what may, that will always be there. That's all I have. Stay safe, America. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.